Today we're going to talk about 10 business ideas that work for you. But before we start, let me tell you something. Businesses like these don't really exist. In this video, I am going to give you some ideas, but you need to keep one thing in mind. No matter how much you want your income to be passive, it never truly is. A lot of people have probably tried to sell you on the idea that, for example, you can start a business, hire employees, and then just walk away from it. And yes, it might be about 98% passive, but that remaining 2% means you still have to keep an eye on the business to make sure everything's running smoothly. You might leave the management of the company in someone else's hands, but in the end, it could fail because you didn't supervise it properly. So today, we're going to talk about these 10 business ideas, which for the most part are options that can be pretty passive, where you don't have to be constantly interacting and working. But you do need to dedicate a certain amount of time to them. And I don't want to lie to you. I don't want to tell you that you'll only need to spend 2 minutes and then all the money will just start rolling in without you having to do anything. That being said, now let's get started with this video. First of all, we have real estate investments. Investing in real estate is one of the most popular and proven methods for generating passive income. You can buy properties and rent them out, earning a steady stream of income from rent payments. While your tenants pay the rent, you enjoy a source of income that requires minimal effort on your part. But be careful, because it still does require some work. Another option is to invest in real estate investment trusts, which are called REITs, R-E-I-T-S for their initials in English, allowing you to participate in the real estate market without having to directly own the properties. REITs invest in different types of real estate, such as shopping centers, office buildings, and apartment complexes. And they distribute a portion of their profits to investors in the form of dividends. And there's also another option on a platform called Realty, which basically has a lot of properties available and you can invest with very little money. And depending on how much you invest, you get your share of the rental income or the sale of the properties. So you don't need to have a lot of capital to get started. Second, we have the creation and sale of digital products. In today's digital age, creating and selling digital products is an excellent way to generate passive income. Some examples of popular digital products are ebooks, online courses, design templates, music, photographs, and software. One of the most appealing aspects of digital products is that once they're created, they can be sold over and over again without incurring additional production costs. Additionally, distributing through online platforms makes the sales and delivery process much easier. However, even though you only create the product once, you obviously have to keep promoting it constantly for it to sell. So that's where the work you should focus on comes in. But once you have your ad set up on Facebook, Instagram, or whatever social network you choose, it can become almost 100% automated and passive. Let's move on to the next point. Affiliates and content marketing. Affiliate marketing and content marketing are two powerful strategies for generating passive income. In affiliate marketing, you promote products or services from other companies and earn a commission for every sale made through your affiliate links. On the other hand, content marketing involves creating and sharing valuable content such as blogs, videos, or podcasts with the goal of attracting a specific audience. Once you've built a loyal audience, you can monetize your content through ads, sponsorships, or by selling related products and services. Of course, you need to create content consistently to earn income here. But think of each piece of content you create as a goal or an asset for the future. That is, in the future, you might have created 20,000 blog pages and think, wow, none of this worked at all. But then a year goes by and those pages start ranking without you having to do anything at all. That's why you should see them as future assets that will generate returns for you down the line. At number 4, we have investments in stocks and mutual funds. Investing in the stock market is another excellent option for generating passive income. You can buy shares of solid, established companies, which will allow you to receive quarterly or annual dividends from your investments. Another alternative is mutual funds, which are diversified portfolios of stocks, bonds, or other financial assets managed by professionals. Mutual funds allow you to diversify your portfolio and minimize risks while benefiting from the returns generated by the underlying assets. You can do this through any broker. One that I personally like a lot is Interactive Brokers, and I'll leave the link in the description so you can check it out. Next, we have creating apps or websites. If you have skills in programming or web design, you can use them to create profitable apps or websites. Once you've developed a successful app or website, you can monetize it through subscriptions, advertising, or by selling complementary products and services. Additionally, apps and websites have the potential to scale quickly and reach a global audience, which can significantly increase your passive income. Some popular ideas include productivity apps, e-commerce platforms, news and entertainment websites, and software as a service tools, which right now, by their initials in English, is SaaS, and it's really trending. Moving on to point number 6, renting out spaces on platforms like Airbnb. If you have an extra property or a spare room, you can use platforms like Airbnb to rent out those spaces to travelers and earn passive income. The advantage of this business is that you can set your own rates, availability schedule, and rules for guests. Although it takes some initial effort to prepare and promote your space, once you start getting bookings, the income will come in steadily with minimal work on your part. Plus, you can hire cleaning and maintenance services to make managing your rental property even easier. In 7th place, we have creating and selling physical products. While digital products are a great option for generating passive income, you can also get into creating and selling physical products. Some popular examples include fashion accessories, home decor items, beauty products, or personalized goods. Once you've designed and produced your products, you can sell them on e-commerce platforms or in your own online store. The key is to find an attractive market niche and offer quality, unique products. But watch out, because here you're probably wondering where the passive income part comes in. And what you should do here is focus on physical products that can be made from a mold or an initial template. Because if you have to start completely from scratch every time you make a new product, that's going to be a problem, and it won't be all that passive, to be honest. And obviously, the idea with this business is to hire employees as quickly as possible so you can outsource or delegate your work and start generating passive income. Point number 8 is investments in cryptocurrencies and blockchain. The world of cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology has opened up new opportunities to generate passive income. You can invest in popular cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, or promising altcoins and benefit from their long-term value appreciation. Another option is to participate in activities like cryptocurrency mining, staking, which basically means holding funds in a cryptocurrency to help validate transactions and earn rewards, or lending, which is simply loaning out your cryptocurrencies and charging interest to the people you lend them to. You can do all of this through an exchange or a wallet that offers these services. Right now, I could mention OKX, Binance, Bybit, and Bitso. There are actually quite a few, but they all have different features, so I recommend you look for the one you like best. Next, we have something pretty important, point number 9, which is licensing patents or copyrights. And this is where it gets kind of funny, because there are people who, for example, hear a singer and when they stop hearing about them, they assume that person isn't making money anymore, that they've moved on to something else. But in reality, that's actually how most singers make their living, from royalties. Even if a song isn't played all the time anymore, as long as there are people still listening to it on platforms like Spotify, Deezer, and others, they obviously get paid, either the record label or the singer directly, and that's how they keep earning income. So even if you're not a singer yourself, but maybe you're an inventor, an artist, or a creator, you can earn passive income by licensing your patents, copyrights, or trademarks. This means allowing other companies or individuals to use your intellectual property in exchange for royalties or regular payments. For example, if you've created an innovative design, a hit song, or groundbreaking software, you can license it to companies that will market it and pay you royalties for every unit sold or every time your work is used. And finally, at number 10, we have investments in bonds and other debt instruments. Bonds and other debt instruments are a type of investment that can generate passive income through regular interest payments. Bonds are essentially loans that companies or governments issue to raise funds, and in return, they pay interest to the investors who buy those bonds. In addition to traditional bonds, there are other debt instruments, such as treasury bonds, municipal bonds, and corporate bonds. These instruments can offer different levels of risk and return, allowing you to diversify your investment portfolio and obtain a steady stream of passive income. And clearly, when you buy bonds, you need to know which ones really interest you, and then just wait, because that's the whole idea behind bonds. After some time passes, they pay you your interest, they give you back your money, your initial capital, and all you had to do was put your money there, and then after a while, they simply return it to you. It's that easy and pretty passive. Now, before we wrap up, I want to tell you something really important. The most important thing is to find the options that best fit your skills, your interests, and the resources you have available. Don't be afraid to explore different businesses and combine them to diversify your sources of passive income.